In the video for this week, I'm going to be ranking the top 10 best albums of the year according to Rate Your Music. This is the top albums of 2024 as of December 31st, 2024, so if any rankings have changed in between then and the posting of this video, then I guess that sucks. Anyway, remember this is all my personal opinion, and let's get into it. Taking up the number 10 spot is Ulcerate's Cutting the Throat of God, which also placed 10th in Rate Your Music's top 10 albums of 2024 list. This album mainly falls into the categories of dissonant death metal and technical death metal. My biggest problem with this album is the vocals. They are in that classic death metal Cookie Monster style, and in my opinion, are very one note and get boring before the first song, To Flow Through Ashen Hearts, is even over. This vocal styling also makes it hard to hear the lyrics, which are actually pretty solid throughout the album. Instrumentally, the album is okay, but never ventures out or does something very unexpected. The guitars are heavy, the drums are fast, but that's all you're really getting with this one. Next up, taking up the 9th spot, we have Blood Incantation's Absolute Elsewhere, which finished 8th in Rate Your Music's list. The main genres this album falls into are death metal and progressive metal. This album also has the Cookie Monster vocals mixed with primal grunts, but it also includes amazing guitar solos, like the one in The Message Tablet 1, cool atmospheres like on the Stargate Tablet 2, and obvious Pink Floyd influences which are most prevalent on The Message Tablet 2. I guess this is also a good time to talk about how the album is laid out. Absolute Elsewhere is made up of 6 songs with 2 major parts, the Stargate and The Message, each with 3 tablets. The 2 parts are pretty similar though, just mainly with different lyrical themes. Overall, this is a great experimental death album, just held back by its death metalisms. In the 8th spot, we have The Cure's Songs of a Lost World album, which placed 5th in Rate Your Music's list. The genres of this album are gothic rock and alternative rock. The Cure are an older band, so I was curious to see if they still had it with this newer record, and they still do. There's some great guitar on And Nothing Is Forever, interesting piano on A Fragile Thing, and an overall great atmosphere across the whole album, but specifically on the track Alone. Robert Smith has a great voice too, although his lyrical style doesn't actually really do it for me. I don't really even know why, it just doesn't click. There are also a few songs on here that I just don't care for, like War Song and End Song, with the latter dragging out for way too long in my opinion. All in all, Songs of Lost World, in my opinion, is a good album, but not a personal favorite. Oh, hi there. Taking up the 7th spot is Cindy Lee's Diamond Jubilee, which also placed 7th in Rate Your Music's list. This album's genres are hypnagogic pop, which I might be pronouncing wrong, psychedelic pop, and indie rock. This is a giant album made up of 32 tracks and having a runtime of over 2 hours. The record is dominated by a distinct retro feel that bleeds into the amazing atmospheres, superb vocals, and occasional string sections. The other main vibe on this album is a sort of lo-fi feel. I'm not an expert on lo-fi, so tell me if I'm using that term wrong. That comes through in the drums and some of the guitar parts. My highlights for this album would be songs like Kingdom Come and Government Check, but at least for me, the songs on this album don't hit as hard without being in the context of the album. I really think it only works as a full experience, and that experience can be quite exhausting and monotonous to get through at points, and that's why this record is below the next few albums I'm going to talk about. Coming in 6th place, rotation a little bit more. Coming in at the... On a lighter note, the next album up is Charli XCX's Brat, which finished in 3rd on Rate Your Music's list. The genres that this album focuses on are electropop and electronic dance music, also known as EDM. This is a fun album objectively, and tracks like the opener and closer 360 and 365 showcase that, but it's also a heartfelt and personal record at points too. with tracks like I Might Say Something Stupid and Sympathy is a Knife talking about Charli's insecurities, and I think about it all the time talking about Charli's struggle with the question of if she wants to become a mother or not. This album is also a masterclass in production. Tracks like Apple and Von Dutch just sound absolutely flawless. Von Dutch is actually one of my favorite songs that came out this year. Overall, Brat is everything you'd want it to be. Fun but showing depth at some points, great sounding, and consistent. Next up is Mount Eerie's Night Palace, which placed 4th in Rate Your Music's list as well. The genres of this album are slacker rock, avant folk, and post-rock. This album is beautiful. It's filled with interesting production on songs like Huge Fire, great energy on songs like Empty Paper Towel Roll, and especially great lyrics on songs like Broom of Wind and I Saw Another Bird. The whole album is made up of 26 songs, which seems like a lot until you realize a lot of them hover around the minute mark. One song that isn't short though is Demolition, a meditative track that gives you a deep look into Phil Elverum's mind. The lyrics of this album focus a lot on nature, describing nature, talking about wanting to protect nature, talking about the problems with land ownership even. One of my favorite parts of this album is how Phil uses rain noises and walls of beautiful sound to paint a picture in your mind. Overall, another superb 2024 album. Coming in with the bronze medal for this year is Geordie Greep's The New Sound, which finished 2nd in Rate Your Music's list. This album ventures into jazz rock, progressive rock, and art rock. This is instrumentally an extremely fun album. I love the energy of songs like Holy Holy and Blues, and the wide range of jazz instruments shining through on Walk Up. Vocally, Geordie is a madman. He sounds absolutely deranged at moments, which makes him just sound so distinct. Building this character that at points you're rooting for, and that at points you're disgusted by. He definitely knows how to write a song, which is shown by, among others, The Magician, a sprawling track that keeps you engaged the whole time. The instrumental songs are good too. Every season now in my life will be bongo season, and the title track gives off heavy Mario Kart vibes. Overall, The New Sound is an extremely distinct record that was like nothing I had ever listened to before, and I absolutely adored it. Claiming the silver medal for this year, in 2nd we have Magdalena Bay's Imaginal Disc, which actually won Album of the Year from Rate Your Music. The genres of this album are neo-psychedelia and synth-pop. This is 100% my pop album of the year. The production throughout the album is some of the best I've ever heard, and it really shines on songs like Image. The vocals are absolutely heavenly too, especially on Death and Romance. That's My Floor is probably my song of the year with its crazy distortion and energy. Bass on this album is amazing, the bridges of these songs are amazing, the drums are great, the choruses get stuck in my head and don't get out. Just everything in this album comes together to make a generational pop record that, although it's not my favorite, I think is going to be remembered publicly the longest. I mean, by people who know it, it's the Tortured Poets Society is actually probably going to be longer remembered because of the Taylor Swift fans. Should let me know if I should listen to Taylor Swift. That'd be an interesting video. Coming in first, we have my favorite album of 2024, which is Adrianne Lenker's Bright Future, which actually only placed 9th on Rate Your Music's list, which I find to be criminal. As my comments always say, oh, you put this there, that's criminal. You put that there, that's criminal. Anyways, the genres this album mainly falls into are singer-songwriter and contemporary folk, which sound really, like, snooty for what the album actually is. I think for this album we should go through the track list. The first song on the album is Real House, a poetic and beautiful song with a very low-key instrumental where we first get to hear Adrianne's amazing vocals. This track then goes into the highlight that is Sadness as a Gift, which has a much fuller instrumental and just hits so hard after the meditation we were just put through on Real House. Then we get another fun track with Fool before going into No Machine and Free Treasure, which are both also beautiful poetic songs that lead into the midpoint of the album, Vampire Empire. This track is by far the most energetic on the whole album and is perfectly placed in the middle to give us a fun breather before going into the second half, which opens with Evil, spelled E-V-O-L. a song with a great concept that I'm honestly very surprised hadn't really been used before with its usage of words spelled backwards. Next is Candle Flame with its beautiful piano and Already Lost with its plucky banjo, both of which are very catchy, and once again, tell me if you see a theme. Poetic. Then we end off the record with Donuts Seem, a song about climate change and Ruined, an amazing atmospheric closer. There's not a weak link anywhere on this record, and this album is a masterclass in album sequence. Every song is placed exactly where it should be, and the songs build off of each other so extremely well. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. Thank you for watching this. I know there's a lot of musical end/beginning of year videos out there, so I'm happy that you chose mine. I hope you have a great day. Make sure to leave a comment about your opinions on what I said. I read the comments. I find them very interesting.